Let me term another case to you. This was a case of, again, a corporate hospital where CRF patient, chronic renal failure patient, went to this particular hospital for the treatment, got discharged. Probably the houseman or RMO who was preparing a discharge card, maybe because of some reason, either he may have thought that patient being chronic renal failure are aware about regular dialysis, or maybe some reason he could not or forget to write dialysis in a discharge card, dialysis twice a week or dialysis thrice a week in a discharge card. Patient died few days later, only on the ground of discharge card. The relative filed a complaint saying that we are a layman. We always follow the guidelines given by the doctor and advice given by the experts. In the discharge card, nowhere they have mentioned that dialysis to be done. We thought that my patient got well when we have taken a discharge, and now no dialysis is needed. And patient died due to complication of the same. Court has considered the argument of the complainant, and since there was no mention of dialysis in discharge card, hospital was punished with the compensation good lakhs of above. My friend, that is the reason why medical record keeping is a vital role in a medical. It can save your skin yourself. And that's the reason your importance become very high when you are going to train the paramedical staff for maintaining the document, maintaining the same, and bringing this another domain in a life to see that reputation of hospital increases and litigation decrease. So maintaining medical record plays a vital role. As I said, OPD paper and IPD paper of any hospital plays a vital role. When I talk about OPD paper, my friend, few things are very, very important which need to be on a paper, which we have run during academic year. The first and foremost thing, the chief complaint, what patient gives. Naturally, patient name, age, other things are needed to be preferably weight also. Age, weight, other things which is normal phenomena with last LMP and other things which is normal thing which need to be on a paper. With that, the findings, the chief complaint must be mentioned. If chief complaint is properly mentioned and patient died because of some other complaint, that WebPD paper can become a very, very vital paper and defensive paper. Example, patient has not given a history of any symptom of cardiac element. No chest pain, no perspiration, no history of ISD, nothing like that. And later patient died because of ISD or MI. It will be difficult for patient to prove that you are aware about the fact that patient was suffering from such a disease. So whatever chief complaint, you are going to be more liable for that. That need to be very specific. A patient came with history of fever, cough, cold, whatever, mentioned properly on a paper, because tomorrow that is going to be the difference, not only for the purpose of future complication, but also for the purpose of your prescription, that what complaint is given, or that is the ground of your diagnosis, or that is the ground speaks loudly. So you need to be very careful what you write. History of, you need to write the past history of tobacco chewing or alcohol intake or XYZ, or past history of any surgery or anything else which patient has already gone. Whatever history he gives, or recurrent infection, XYZ, because that history is going to be another great ground for advocate to argue the matter in any given scenario situation, safeguard you. The history need to be properly written. If no history of drug allergy given by the patient mentioned specifically, because even if at all patient dies with allergy of a drug, you got a difference that if patient was not aware, how come I will be aware? So lot of difference are lying with you. No history of diabetic mellitus or ALD, because many of the cases I found that this was absent and patient got septicemia in some procedure, post procedure, because turned out to be 460, 480 diabetes, which was very high. So these are the things which is in essence need to be there on a paper. When we write examination, on examination, we need to write complete examination, not a shortcut. That BP, pulse, and SpO2 nowadays cannot be only ground of your examination. We all know that 90% we are based on a clinical examination, diagnosis based on clinical examination. Pathological investigation is just to confirm our diagnosis or get more clear the picture. So your clinical examination must be foolproof. That shows your due care. So what we have learned during academic year need to be written on the OPD paper. When you write clinical examination, top to bottom, everything what you examine, specifically you mentioned CBS, CNS, X, Y, Z, specifically mentioned in the clinical exam. Because now your clinical examination and your history combinedly, or no history combinedly, become the ground to diagnose the disease which patient is having. So if you're not very clear about the diagnosis, definitely being a differential diagnosis, a multiple option, you can write down probable diagnosis, query diagnosis, provisional diagnosis, but something you need to mention. And on the basis of diagnosis, naturally your prescription is going to be there. Write down the prescription properly in a legible handwriting, but looking to that result as less medicine as possible, because more medicine you prescribe, more and side effects are going to be on a patient, can be another ground for filing a case. I have multiple times narrated my experience where prescription with the four important drugs which every doctor prescribes, like one antipyretic analgesic, which is again a two drug or three drug combination, one naturally PP drug, which is for protection of patient from gastritis, other things. It is always a double drug combination, like Omez D or Riverol D or something like that. Third is antibiotic, which again is a double or triple drug combination. Fourth is multivitamins, which is again six drug combination. Altogether, in the four drugs, you prescribe around 18 drug or 14 drug. And Google World, if everything is put, shows the drug contraindication or there is an interaction of a drug, which may be a ground for filing case. So have a prescription very wisely given with as less medicine as possible, which covers a very specific thing as a primary prescription. And then naturally, the possible investigation you are expecting to diagnose completely must be mentioned in there. And with that, never ever forget to mention follow up. It can't follow up with CBC, follow up with USG, follow up with X-ray, or follow up after treatment, and naturally SOS call to you. These are going to save you, my friend, because if patient does not turn up, benefit you get because not following your advice is a contributory negligence on the part of a patient. So always remember to write this follow.